We welcome you back to Comerica Park, where you can see the temperature has reached triple digits today. 100 degrees at the ballpark here tonight. Blistering heat to be sure. And the Tigers and the Angels getting set for Game 2 in this series. Starting lineup tonight for the Angels, presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Mike Trout leading it off in center field, followed by Torii Hunter in right. Albert Pujols at first base. Mark Trumbo is in left. Kendrys Morales batting fifth tonight. He's the DH. Then Alberto Callaspo, Kendrick Ibar, and Wilson, the bottom three for the Halos. Starting pitcher tonight for the Tigers, Jacob Turner, presented by Soaring Eagle Casino.
Jacob Turner probably pitching some of his best baseball. As a matter of fact, his last start down in Toledo, 9-inning shutout, and did not walk anybody, which is going to be very important for Turner here tonight. With the way the Angels run the bases, he cannot afford to walk as many as he did in his spot start a couple of weeks ago.
Well, you know the drill. If the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you will get a free small order of curly fries.
This is what the Tigers' defensive alignment will look like behind the youngster Jacob Turner tonight. It is always presented by Beaumont Health System. You got Barry Jackson Bosch in the outfield, Cabrera, Peralta, Santiago Fielder. They will man the infield, and Alex Avila back behind the plate once again here tonight.
So the 21-year-old Jacob Turner will take the hill tonight for the Tigers as he gets the spot start for Drew Smiley, and he will get the call here this evening against the Halos team that he made his big league debut against. And we'll see how he fares here tonight as Mike Trout leads it off for the Angels. It'll be Trout, Hunter, and Pujols, and here we go. The first pitch of the ball game is a strike called on Mike Trout. Trout in last night's ball game, 1 out of 4, had an RBI. The hot-hitting rookie came in batting .348 this evening, and it swung on and hit the left. A base hit for Trout. Leadoff man is on for the Angels.
No doubt Mike Trout with 30 steals already this year will test Turner to see if he's made some adjustments and getting the ball to his catcher a little bit quicker as far as not allowing the opposition to steal bases. That's a good fastball at the bottom of the zone, but Trout just whistled that one through the left side of the Tigers' infield.
Well, Jim Leyland said one of the things that Turner had to improve on, he absolutely had to, was his quickness to the plate, and he said he went down to Toledo and did just that. So he may get a challenge here with Trout having 30 stolen bases already this year. Torii Hunter stands in, takes it low, and it's knocked down by Avila, 1-0.
In Turner's major league debut against this Los Angeles Angels team, they exploited the one weakness that he does have, and that's the ability to not hold runners on. They stole 5 bases that day.
Turner in his first start against the Cardinals back in June walked 5 batters. He gave up just 1 run, though, in 5 innings of work. Hunter had a big night last night. 4 out of 5, 3 RBIs.
Since Mike Scioscia has put Torii Hunter in that number 2 spot, from a batting average standpoint, Torii has really flourished. The batting average at .325 when batting second for the Halos.
Here's the 1-0, and it's outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Hunter batting .276. He's hit 10 home runs this year. The veteran in his 5th season with the Angels, after 10 years with the Minnesota Twins. Trout, meanwhile, has stolen 30 of 33. Way inside, 3-0. Hunter last night had 3 RBIs, knocked in some key runs early, but maybe his best at bat of the night was his last one in the 9th inning. 2 out, nobody on. He found a way to get on. He had a bunt single, knowing that the guy on deck, Albert Pujols, could tie it up with 1 swing. In the end, Valverde would get Pujols to end the game. That's in there, a strike, 3-1. Dino Ebel is flashing the signs, the third base coach for the Angels. And another throw back, this time a little bit closer. Better move there from Turner. Trout, with all the hitting that he did in the minor leagues, also stole a bunch of bases. In 3 minor league years, he stole 102 bags and has brought those talents to the major leagues. And there he goes. And it's ball 4. Hunter gets a walk, and the Angels have the first 2 men on. Nobody out, and the heart of the order to deal with now for Jacob. Pujols will stand in.
One of the things that Santiago is talking to Turner about, and obviously Santiago has been in the majors a long time, he wants to make sure that Turner doesn't pay too much attention to Trout at second base because he has a dangerous hitter standing in that batter's box, and he cannot afford to make a mistake with a pitch up in the zone to Pujols because he is concerned about the speedster Trout at second.
Albert swings on the first and fouls it straight back 0-1.
Albert has grounded into quite a few double plays this year already, 11 of those, but Turner's not going to get a ground ball where that last pitch was located. He needs to be at the bottom of the zone.
Pujols hit into one last night. He finished the ball game 2 out of 5 with a double. And it was a very slow start for Albert this year. In fact, back in early May, he was hitting just a $180 in that range, and since has really turned things on. There's a ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pujols pretty much back on track to putting up the numbers that he has his previous 10 years with the St. Louis Cardinals. Before signing that monster deal in the offseason, a 10-year deal to come to Southern California. The 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Pujols. Well, he's long been known as one of, if not the best hitter in the game, and Albert's numbers over the years have really piled up. If you look at his ranks among active players, he is really atop a lot of those lists.
Albert is headed to the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. That's how good he has been. And that's if his career ends tomorrow.
Well, the Angels are hoping that's not the case. They've got him for 10 years. Leadoff single by Trout, walk by Hunter. 2 on, nobody out. Grounded foul. Mike Scioscia has done terrific work in his 13 years with the Angels. 5 first place finishes in the American League West, and he's gotten that organization to a spot where they expect to be in the playoffs every single year. And again the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's some power waiting on deck in Mark Trumbo. Here's the 2-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Pujols. And so Turner now digging a deeper hole here.
There is a trust factor with Pujols in the fact that he usually puts the ball in play. It doesn't strike out all that often. Therefore, on the 3-2 count here, more than likely Trout and Hunter will vacate the respective bases that they occupy right now.
Three-two pitch, runners hold, and a bouncing ball left side. It's going to find a hole, base hit. Trout rounding third. He'll come around to score, and Pujols with an RBI single and 3 batters into this game. The Angels have a 1-0 lead.
Two seeing eye singles that the Angels have gotten here in the very first inning against Turner, and both in the same spot.
Pujols gets his 55th RBI of the season. Still nobody out in the inning, and now Mark Trumbo will stand in. Trumbo homered in the ball game last night, which is nothing new for him. 25 long balls on the season. And there's a strike called, 0-1. Trumbo, in fact, has homered in 4 of his last 5 games. And he waves and misses. No balls, 2 strikes. Angels have been, at least over the last decade, built around guys that can run the bases, hit and run, put pressure on the defense. But Trumbo gives them the element of power, and prodigious power at that. And he drives one high in the air and deep to left. Way back and gone. Trumbo with a 3-run homer, and the Angels have scored 4 times in the first.
Trumbo now with 26 home runs. He had 29 last year as a rookie. In the ballpark that he plays in, most of his home games doesn't really yield a lot of home runs. He's got what they call in this game true power.
415 feet on that home run for Trumbo. And Turner throws one to the backstop. 1 ball and no strikes. Still nobody out. 6 homers now in his last 8 games. And very rarely, if ever, does Trumbo hit a cheapie. Kendrys Morales, the batter. And he lines one back up the middle on 1 hop. Peralta has it there. Had it played nicely. 1 gone.
Angels have come out a little angry here today. This one sounded loud.
Homer number 26, and Trumbo now with 65 driven in this year.
You're not supposed to hit the ball that far in an 0-2 count.
Here's Callaspo. And he drives one to center field on a line right at Jackson, and there are 2 gone. It'll bring up Howie Kendrick. Angels score 4 runs on 3 hits in this inning. It all started with a single by Mike Trout. Kendrick last night 0 for 4. And he shoots one foul back out of play. Angels came in still very much alive in the West. They trailed Texas by 5.5. Tigers, of course, gained a game last night on Chicago, trailing the White Sox by 2.5 games. Wave and a miss. 0-2. And you got to believe that as the wild card standings now become something we'll keep an eye on, that the West may not only produce, of course, their division champion, but the wild card as well, or one of them.
It's going to be interesting down the stretch for sure.
Down goes Kendrick. Avila can't find it, and the runner will be safe. Boy, it's been that kind of inning for the Tigers. Strikeout and a wild pitch allows the runner to advance or to reach.
As well as they played in last night's game, coming from behind after trailing 4-1 to the Angels. It's been somewhat of a very sluggish start here tonight. Alex had no idea where that ball was.
Here's Eric Ibar, the 8th man to bat in the inning. 4-0 Angels lead. We're on the top of the first. And a ball outside to Ibar.
Angels come in with 72 steals as a team. And Kendrick has 6 of them, but he has been caught 5 times. But if you're Turner, you can't forget about him while he's on first base.
Well, the man at the plate, Ibar, swiped a couple in last night's ball game. Turner has thrown 24 pitches. He's surrendered the 3-run homer to Trumbo and an RBI single as well to Pujols. Here's the 1-0 and a bouncing ball to first, right at Prince, who knocks it down, and that is finally that for the Angels. Big inning though. They send 8 men to the plate, score 4 times. Things off, and for Jackson, he has scored a run 13 consecutive games, which is the longest streak since 1950 for the Tigers, and so hopefully Jackson will keep that streak alive here tonight. Here is the Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy. It'll be Jackson, Berry, and Cabrera at the top. Prince Fielder at first base, Delman Young the DH. You've got Bosch in right, Peralta, Avila, and then Santiago. Garrett Richards, the starting pitcher tonight for the Halos. He is presented by Fox Volkswagen of Rochester Hills.
Garrett's got a good arm. Fastball will go anywhere from 92 to 97 miles an hour. He has had some issues with the base on balls. He has walked 19 in 36 plus innings up here. So the Tigers just need to be patient and see if they can chip away at the 4-run lead that he's been given. They've got Trumbo in the outfield. They also have Trout in the outfield. They have Hunter in the outfield. Pujols has won a couple gold gloves at first. Kendrick Ibar up the middle. Cayaspo, he is over at third. And Bobby Wilson is the catcher here today.
So here is Jackson settling in with a .322 batting average, 1 out of 4 in the ball game last night. And the first pitch from Richards is low, ball 1. Richards, 24 years of age, born in Riverside, California, grew up in Oklahoma. The 1-0 pitch. That's on the inside part of the plate at 97 miles an hour.
Throwing hard already here tonight. Letting it all hang out.
So coming into the season, he was rated as their 3rd best prospect. Here's the 1-1. That one bounces in. 2 balls, 1 strike. 32-10 record in 66 minor league games. That's why he has been ranked so highly in the Angels system. The 2-1 is outside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
That is not a straight fastball at 98 miles an hour either. That is a fastball with some late life on it. Take a look at the movement on this 98 mile per hour fastball.
Jackson cuts and misses. 3-2. So Richards come out of the gate throwing upper 90s here. AJ has hit safely in 18 of his last 19 games. And he takes strike 3. Got him looking. Andy Fletcher called him out. 1 gone.
Batting second. Number 52, Quinton Berry.
Here was one of the heroes last night for the Tigers. Quinton Berry stands in. Berry's average up to 297 again after putting up a 3-hit night last night. 2 stolen bases, 2 runs scored, and he cuts and misses 0-1.
Quinton very easily could have had 5 hits in the game last night. Howie Kendrick made a very nice play against him early in the game, and Torrey Hunter also made a nice catch in the outfield.
Sends a ground ball to the right side, right at Kendrick. And a routine play this time for Howie. 2 gone. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera with the bases empty. Cabrera did not have a hit last night, although he did drive in a run. He's batting .327. And his 74 RBIs trails Josh Hamilton, who leads the American League by a couple. And it's in there for strike 1 at 97 again. There's a drive into right center field. That ball is hit well, but Hunter gets back there right in front of the warning track, and the Tigers go 1-2-3. On our way to the second, 4-0 Angels. This one, a 3-run homer back in the first inning, and Trumbo, well, he's been as good as it gets.
It's been a very long time since a young power hitter has come to the major leagues that has done back-to-back damage in back-to-back years the way that Trumbo has done. An all-star this year in the home run hitting contest, and There's not a ballpark that can hold this kid in the majors. And if you missed it, this was the top half of the first inning. A 3-run home run to left field on an 0-2 pitch against Jacob Turner.
Trumbo homered last night's game, a 3-run shot in this one here this evening. And so the Angels running out to a 4-0 lead in this contest. And Jacob Turner back to the hill, facing Bobby Wilson. And then Mike Trout and Torrey Hunter. And the first pitch up high to Bobby Wilson, batting .202 coming in. Turner threw 25 pitches in that first inning, so hopefully a little bit more economical here in the second. 1-1 on Wilson. 6 RBIs this year for the Angels backstop. The Angels are dealing with a couple of injuries of their own, including the catcher Chris Iannetta. He's out. Iannetta, a broken right wrist and right forearm strain has put him on the disabled list. And Mike Scioscia is out without Dan Herron as well, and Vernon Wells. But they are so deep in the outfield that they've been able to get by no problem without Wells. Dan Herron, a little bit of a different story, though. They're hoping to get him back this weekend when they take on the Texas Rangers. They'll need him. Here's the 2-1. 2-2 now on Wilson. Wilson as well has been on the disabled list this year, the 7-day concussion DL. The 2-2. Missed it inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Quite a few guys have had to utilize that new 7-day DL as far as concussions are concerned in Major League Baseball these days.
Wilson had to use it after taking a foul tip off his mask. The 3-2 is line foul, third base side.
They are way too comfortable against Turner here tonight. He may have to throw a couple fastballs inside, make some of these guys move their feet so they don't lean out over the plate and hit balls as hard as they have already in this game.
Turner walked a batter and gave up 3 hits in that first frame. And here's another walk. He walks the number 9 hitter to start things off here in the second. So the leadoff man is on, and here's the Bernstein advantage. It brings you the scouting report on Mike Trout. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you. He became the youngest player to record a hit in the All-Star game since Al Kaline back in 1955. Just 20 years of age, Mike Trout. Took one of those floaters from R.A. Dickey and lined a base hit.
Mike Trout was the talk of the All-Star festivities in Kansas City, and rightfully so. Outstanding numbers as a rookie.
You know, sometimes, Rod, you can talk to scouts and you might have 5 scouts tell you one thing, 5 scouts tell you another thing, but anybody you talk to concerning this kid, they're all on the same page.
And that's not just the scouts, that's opposing managers. I was talking to Buck Showalter just a couple of days ago when we were in Baltimore, and he was raving about Mike Trout.
Ball low, 1-1.
He said he couldn't wait for the Angels to get out of town.
Well, he certainly fits what they like to do. He's an exciting player, very good defender, but he has speed on the bases. And he's already singled and scored a run in this game. High, towering fly ball, right center field. This one is hit well. It's picking up steam, and that ball is gone.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, my goodness. To right center field for Mike Trout.
Oh, he's special. No, he's really special.
For a right-handed batter to hit a ball there?
That's Cabrera country out there. That is a fastball that's right down the middle and absolutely crushed by Trout. And then when he hit it, he knew it had a chance to get out of here.
Trout hits his 13th, and it's 6-0 Angels.
That's why some people are talking about Trout
And it's popped up right side of the infield. Here comes Santiago for the out.
In the MVP conversation, he didn't get to the major leagues until April 28th.
What do you think the distance was on that home run?
About 447 feet from home plate.
430. But yeah, I mean, it looked like it could have gone that far. Since coming up, look at the difference he's made in their record. I mean, they were 6-14 before he was called up on April 28th.
Fired their hitting coach, Mike Scioscia's really good friend, Mickey Hatcher.
Here's Albert Pujols. You know, it's funny, you were talking about this last night and how all the attention on this young kid now seemingly has pushed Albert to the background, and he's just kind of taken off since.
He sure has.
Trout a single and a 2-run homer in this game. Swing and a miss, 1-1. So Jacob Turner, making his second big league start this year, has given up 6 runs on 4 hits to this point. That missed inside, 2-1. Pujols singled in a run back in the first. And he sends one high in the air to left field. Way back. Barry going to the track, to the wall, and this one is gone. And the Angels have hit their 3rd home run of the night. And it's 7-0. And the Tigers quickly get on the telephone. This one has gone south very quickly tonight for the Tigers.
It's another 2-seam fastball at the bottom of the zone, and Albert, he keeps that bat head in the strike zone about as long as any right-handed batter in this game, and didn't appear to hit it right on the screws, but he is so strong.
So the Tigers will get the bullpen working as Pujols hits one 368 feet. And for Albert, his 16th of the year. A 4-run first is met with a 3-run second inning, and the Angels have jumped out to a 7-0 lead as Dwayne Below warms up. And he's doing it quite quickly. Here's Mark Trumbo. Trumbo hit a 3-run shot in the first. 65 driven in now for Trumbo. One ball, one strike. Tigers beat the Angels last night at their game. Little small ball to pick up a win. Well, tonight the Angels are playing the Tigers game, the power game, with their 3 homers. Trout, Trumbo, and Pujols. In for a strike, 1-2.
This crowd really has not been able to settle into their seats comfortably here tonight.
Now they are a little bit stunned right now. 2-2 the count on Trumbo. Trumbo with homers in each of the first 2 games. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And a bouncing ball third base side. Fair ball over the head of Cabrera. Down the line it goes. This will be extra bases for Trumbo, who pulls in with a double. A 1-out 2-base hit. Trumbo now with a double to go with his homer.
That ball right over the head of Cabrera. And Sam Holbrook is the third base umpire. He was right there to make the call.
25 pitch first inning, and now 20 pitches here in the second for Turner. Here's Kendrys Morales. Ball one outside. 7 runs, 6 hits for the Angels. Morales 0 for 1 with a ground out. And that missed away. 2-0 the count. Well, the Angel bullpen, or I should say the Tiger bullpen tonight, is at full strength with the exception of their closer. Valverde will not pitch tonight, but everybody else is available, including Brian Villarreal, who had a bit of a neck issue, but he's good to go this evening. And by the looks of it, the Tigers will have to utilize the pen tonight. That's in for a strike, 2-1. Turner had won 4 of his previous 5 decisions at AAA before the call-up. Now it's 3-1. In fact, Jacob in his last start before the call-up, a 3-hit shutout against Louisville, in which he struck out 6, didn't walk anybody in that game. Here's the 3-1. And that's to the left side. Diving stop there by Cabrera. Comes up throwing in time for the out. Nice play by Caddy, saving a base hit.
Rafael Belliard, the infield instructor, had moved Cabrera well off the line at third base, and it's a good thing that he did, because had he not been playing where he was playing, this is a base hit for Morales. One step and a dive, he gets up and gets to his feet quickly and able to throw Morales out.
And a much needed out for Jacob Turner. So with 2 gone, here is Callaspo. He lined out to center field his first time, 0 for 1.
Don't know how long Turner is going to be out there tonight, but the one thing he's going to have to do if he gets another start up here, he's going to have to pitch inside. He has not pitched inside at all.
On the ground to first, right there is Prince, and he'll take it himself to end the inning. Another big inning, though, for the Angels. They score 3 more. They lead 7-0. Ability since 1849. Ram now get a great deal on a new Ram truck at the Ram Summer Clearance event going on right now. And by Spartan Stores for locations. Visit turntospartan.com. Back here to steamy Comerica Park when it was 100 degrees at game time. It's down to 99 right now. It's still very, very warm here at the ballpark. And it's 7-0 in favor of the Angels as Albert Pujols has hit one of the 3 home runs. Trout and Trumbo with the other 2 for the Halos. Fielder, Young, and Bosch here in the second. And the Tigers have some major room to make up now. They have been out hit 6-0, trail 7-0 as Prince looks at a ball outside. 2-0 the count.
With the heat here today, the Tigers did not hit on the field during batting practice. They hit downstairs in the cages. However, the Angels, they did hit on the field, and they've continued to hit on the field here too at 7 o'clock.
Meanwhile, Richards trying to match the temperature tonight. He's been 96, 97, 98.
You wonder if he can maintain this kind of velocity throughout the game.
You would think he couldn't, but we'll see. Prince has hit safely in 12 in a row. And he takes a ball outside. He takes a walk on 4 straight pitches. Leadoff man on for Detroit. And we remind you this game is available in high definition tonight on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. Here is Delman Young. Had another good night last night. 2 out of 4, knocked in a couple of runs. Tigers last night trailed 5-2 and came back to win that game. Ball high, 1-0. That'll bring the catcher Wilson out to the mound to have a visit. And that's 5 straight balls that the right-hander has thrown. Richards went in the first round back in 2009, the same year that Jacob Turner was drafted by the Tigers in the first round. The 1-0 pitch. And you can see why this guy has a ton of talent. I mean, with the live arm he has. But when he was pitching at Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma, he didn't really do all that well. But he really made a name for himself when he played this summer after his sophomore year in the Alaskan League and really lit it up. There's the 1-1. High fly ball right field. Coming in is Torrey Hunter. Still coming in. And he gets there for the out. One gone. There's a little comparison. Garrett Richards 42nd overall in the first round. And meanwhile, Jacob Turner in that same draft went 9th overall to the Tigers.
The Angels must have had a sandwich pick. That's the only way you can draft a first rounder 42nd overall, which is usually compensation for losing a free agent of the year before.
They did. In fact, their first round pick that year was Mike Trout, their first round pick. So those two went in the same draft. There's a strike called on Bosch. Brennan has hit safely now in 8 straight. Big home run in the ball game last night, propelling the Tigers to a win. The 0-1. Bosch's season high in hitting streaks is 12. He did that back in May, so he's creeping up on that with the 8-gamer. Here's the 1-1.
Richards has not been in the big leagues all that long. Therefore, there hasn't been many games where he's been given a 7-run lead. And on occasion, when you have a young pitcher on the mound that's been given that type of lead, they fail to continue to utilize all their pitches. He's been fastball heavy in this inning, and he hasn't been able to locate his fastball.
way outside, 3-1.
What pitching coaches will tell you is you have to treat the game the same way, as if it was nothing to nothing. And now Ibar, the shortstop, going to come in and try to calm the young rookie down. Mike Butcher, he's the pitching coach for the Angels, and a good one. He's been with Socha for a long time. Initially, when Joe Madden took the job down in Tampa, Mike Butcher went with Joe Madden as his pitching coach for 1 year and then came back to Los Angeles.
Here's the 3-1. And he walked him. Couple of walks in this inning now for Detroit. Let's go back to the studio. Time for a game break. Here is Justin White. All right, Justin, we'll keep our eyes on that one. Certainly, obviously, the Tigers want to know what Chicago is going to do tonight. Tigers came in 2.5 behind the Chicago White Sox.
All of a sudden, the Boston Red Sox have gotten healthy. Jacoby Ellsbury's back. Carl Crawford now is back.
They've been able to tread water without those two guys.
Yes, they have.
Still over 500. Here's Peralta. Big swing, 0-1. Richards had missed on 9 of the first 12 pitches that he had thrown in this inning before getting the swing and a miss there. He has not been able to locate the strike zone for the most part. A couple of walks in this inning. Fielder and Bosch. And a breaking ball missing away.
Richards came into this game tonight with 19 walks in 36 innings, so he has had some command issues during the course of his brief big league career.
Bouncing ball to short. There's Ibar flipping to second one. Kendrick's relay is a double play. 6-4-3. Tigers fail to score, and you're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. Trailing the Los Angeles Angels, and Jacob Turner's night will be a very short one as Dwayne Belo will take over now in a wall-side windows pitching change.
Dwayne has been marvelous this year. And at 25 strikeouts for Dwayne, just 4 walks in a 2.61 ERA. He came in relief of Max Scherzer in that 13-inning affair a couple of days ago in Baltimore, and he kept the Baltimore Orioles right where they were at, and the Tigers were able to come back and tie that game. Eventually lost it, but Velo did very nice work in that ball game.
Very, very important part of the Detroit bullpen. And tonight, another reason why the Tigers give up a lot of runs early. So the starter is knocked out. Velo trying to save the pen now. And he delivers a strike to Howie Kendrick, who leads it off for the Angels. Kendrick, Ibar, and Wilson, 7, 8, 9 in the lineup for Los Angeles. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off. Make it 0-2. Well, the home run ball bit Jacob Turner tonight. A 3-run shot to Trumbo, solo shot to Pujols, and a 2-run shot to Mike Trout. Hopefully Velo here can calm things down a bit, give the Tigers offense a chance to chip away. Here's the 0-2. And it's driven to left field, a base hit. So again, the leadoff man is on for the Angels, the third consecutive inning that has happened.
We saw Jacob Turner give up a 3-run home run to Mark Trumbo on an 0-2 pitch. And Velo also knows that he needs to make a little bit better pitch there once you're able to get ahead of a very aggressive hitter like Howie Kendrick. You've got to see if he'll chase something before you come back in the strike zone.
Here is Eric Ibar, who bounced out his first time up. Pops this one up foul, back out of play.
They are aggressive here tonight. Just about every first pitch they've gotten for a strike, they've been swinging at it.
Well, they've been an aggressive team in other respects as well on the base paths we've talked about. Jim Leland has said that this is one of the few teams in the league where just about everybody on their team and in their lineup will bunt on a nightly basis, and he even pointed to the fact that even Mark Trumbo tried to bunt for a base hit earlier this year. Obviously won't do that all that often, but still. 0-2. Of course, Mickey Hatcher no longer here. Jim Eppert is the new hitting instructor.
Since he has gotten here, they have really perked up from an offensive standpoint. That is not a knock on Mickey Hatcher. But they've done well since Eppert has been here. I think Mickey Hatcher now works in the Los Angeles Dodgers organization.
He does. There's a ground ball to second. Should be two. Santiago, Peralta, and a double play. 4-6-3. 2 gone.
You're not going to turn many double plays with Ibar running. He has really good speed, but this one hit sharply right at Santiago. Nice feed to Peralta, and Peralta able to turn it over, even though Howie Kendrick was very close to taking him out at second base.
Here's Bobby Wilson. Wilson walked back in the second and then scored on the Trout home run. And Velo pumps in a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dwayne Velo out of Britain, Michigan. The 1-1 offering is hit right back up the middle on 1 hop. Backhanded by Santiago. And that is that. For the first time, the Angels do not score here tonight. We'll go to the bottom of the third. against the right-hander Garrett Richards. Back here at the ballpark, Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen. School's out for summer, so we thought we'd bring in Alice Cooper, of course. Alice, of course, a big Tigers fan, and you're not bringing the ball club much luck tonight.
Yeah, I know. Maybe they should have left me in.
Well, I don't know how many people know this about you, but obviously with your rock and roll talents, that certainly is the main thing in your life. But you're a huge baseball fan as well.
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, Tigers were everything. At Briggs, my dad would take me to Briggs Stadium, see Al Kaline and Paul Maxwell and Colavito and those guys. And, man, that was really great baseball when we were kids.
Some old school names there.
Oh, yeah, great. Harvey Keene, those were great ball players.
Well, the Tigers will send Alex Avila to the plate to start things off here. It'll be Avila, Santiago, and Austin Jackson facing the right-hander Richards. Avila's first at bat of the night, and he looks at strike one.
Being a huge baseball fan, you have to be awfully fond of your manager out there in Arizona, Kirk Gibson.
I see Kurt all the time, and he's a Tiger. Every time I look at him, he's a Detroit Tiger. That's all there is to it. He can have the D-backs uniform on, but he's a Tiger.
Strike two call there on Avila. Well, you are a native Detroiter. Where did you grow up, and what are your earliest recollections of going to Tigers games?
Right downtown Detroit. I was born at Saratoga Hospital, which they called the Butcher House.
Hey, so was I.
Were you really?
Saratoga Hospital.
Saratoga Hospital, yeah. It's not a mental hospital.
Great.
I don't know if that means anything about me and you.
That explains a whole lot right there.
Answers a lot of questions. But like I said, we played sandlot baseball every day. The sun would come up and we would be playing baseball in East Detroit. And then, when you come actually good.
There's a bouncing ball hit to the right side. Kendrick on the backhand, and he'll throw Avila out one ball.
When you got to go to Briggs Stadium, it was actually grass. And the first game I went to see was Bunning against Herb Score. And Tigers won 7-0. I remember that. Kaline hit 2 home runs. Harvey Keene hit, Rocky Colavito hit 4 in 2 games.
Great memory.
Double hitter. Yeah, oh yeah. You don't forget those things when you're that big,
Well, how much of the Tigers are you able to follow these days? I mean, obviously, this is a team that's a lot of folks are excited about because they're starting to play a little bit better right now.
Oh, yeah, they're on an upswing right now. I mean, these Angels right now, I think the only thing you want to do tonight is just not pitch to Trout anymore.
Got that right. As Santiago bounces out, and there are 2 gone.
What brings you back to Detroit this time around? What you got going on?
Tomorrow night, we got Iron Maiden and Alice Cooper at the Pine Knot. We're on tour with Iron Maiden right now, and then all over the world. So we're out every year, 6 months out of the year. That's one thing Detroit bands do. We tour a lot.
4 decades in music your career has spanned. What has been the secret in your mind to kind of hanging around that long and making music?
It's always comes down to we're a Detroit hard rock band. Hard rock will not die, and it's just Motown. Detroit's known for Motown. But really, when you think of it, you had the Iggy and the Stooges, the MC5, and Bob Seger, and Mitch Ryder, and all the Detroit rock bands were all real hard rock bands, and that music just never goes away.
Austin Jackson hits a 2-hopper to the shortstop. Mybar will throw him out, and that is that. Well, Ellis, we appreciate the visit.
Hey,
good luck
thanks
on
a
the
lot.
show. You threw out the first pitch tonight. We want to see how you did here. Here's the first pitch. How did you think you did?
See that little split finger fastball? Oh, a little high and outside.
Had a little tumble to it.
Little tumble to it, yeah. I didn't want to bring it in the dirt,
in his big league career. Jacob Turner started for the Tigers. He is not in the game anymore. He made his major league debut against the Angels. He fared much better than he did here tonight.
Well, Dwayne Velo trying to pick up the pieces now. This will be his second inning of work, and he's facing Trout, the leadoff man. Trout, Hunter, and then Pujols here in the fourth inning. Trout already's had a big night. Single, homer, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's hit to left. It's another base hit from Mike Trout. The leadoff man is on again for the 4th straight time. Here are those final numbers on Jacob Turner. Walked 2, gave up 7 earned runs, and struck out 1 tonight in 52 pitches in this ballgame. Torrey Hunter has a walk and a run scored. He's also popped up.
Mike Trout now up to .355 with the batting average and leading the American League.
You mentioned something a little bit earlier about how some folks are starting to talk about him in the MVP conversation as well. When I first heard that, I thought, well, that can't be. I mean, you've got Cabrera, you've got Hamilton, you've got a bunch of guys, Konerko. But this guy's starting to make me believe a little bit.
Just the fact that the entire baseball community continues to rave about him, that usually doesn't happen to a kid that's playing on the West Coast.
Right.
Usually all that talk is saved for East Coast folks, but everybody's paying attention to what this young man is doing.
3 more hits tonight has raised his average to .355. He is aboard with nobody out here in the 4th inning. Hunter waiting on an 0-2. And he takes a ball high. Torrey last night had a 4-hit game. He, of course, spent all those years in Minnesota, 10 seasons patrolling center field at the Metrodome, and did it as well, if not better, than anybody in all of baseball. But in August of a couple of years ago, they asked him to move to right field. The Angels did. And he hasn't skipped a beat. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Velo has his first strikeout, 1 gone.
It's a breaking ball at the top of the zone. Real big swing by Torrey Hunter. Came up empty.
That'll bring up Albert Pujols, who's had a big night as well. 2 hits, including a home run. And Albert takes the ball down low. .277 batting average now for Pujols, who was sub 200 a month into the season. And many were wondering why or how that could happen. The enormous pressure of the contract he signed in the offseason perhaps had something to do with that. But knowing that what he had done the past 10 years in St. Louis was a serious track record that eventually would straighten itself out.
Yes, he's got some real nice numbers on the back of his bubblegum card. Hall of Fame numbers when his career's all said and done.
I mean, last year was the only year he did not hit 300 with the Cardinals, and he hit 299. Missed it outside. 2-1. Velo ready with the 2-1 pitch. Instead, back to first he goes. 7-0 right now for the Angels, as aggressive as they are. Probably not going to be running here with the big 7-0 lead.
Not too late.
The 2-1. And Pujols takes outside. 3 balls in 1 strike. Still think it's early enough then?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The old unwritten rules of baseball get interesting sometimes. Do you bunt on a guy that has a no-hitter going late in the game? When is a lead too big to steal?
The only thing that might slow Trout down from running is the fact that Belo's left-handed and has a decent move.
And there's a walk. So Pujols on for the third time in this game. Time now for the trivia question, courtesy of AT&T, and here it is tonight. Who are the only two players to have 10 straight 100 RBI seasons to open a career? There have only been two of them. 10 straight 100 RBI seasons to start a career. And we'll get you the answer sometime soon. Here's Mark Trumbo. He's had a double and a 3-run homer tonight. Ball one outside. Belo had to take over in the third. Got a double play ball after giving up a base hit, and now he's given up a single and a walk. This is why Belo's appearance here is so important. It is not inconceivable that the Tigers could not come back in this game. When you look at Richards' last two starts combined, he has given up a total of 17 runs. So Richards has had a rocky patch in his last two starts, but it's incumbent upon Belo here to keep this a 7-0 game. Popped him up this time. Shallow left field. Peralta going back. Still drifting, and he had to reach for it.
Quentin Berry has to call Peralta off there. Much easier play for the left fielder. Even though Peralta called it, and he called it early, if you're Quentin Berry, you could see that he's struggling with that pop-up. So you simply call him off, and he gets out of the way, and then you make an easier play.
Second out of the inning. Here's Kendrys Morales. Ball one to Morales, who last night was batting cleanup in the Angels lineup. They have bumped him down to fifth tonight. Mike Scioscia before the game saying that he feels that Morales pressing a little bit in that 4 slot. So they bumped Trumbo up to number 4, and it's paid dividends this evening. In there for a strike, 1-1. Morales, of course, missed really nearly 2 years after breaking his leg in that freak accident after hitting a walk-off game-winning home run. Did not play all of last year. And there was talk that this guy would certainly be an MVP candidate. When you looked at his numbers in his last healthy season of 2009, he knocked in 108 runs.
He had a great year.
Callaspo waiting on deck. Two now on Kendrys Morales.
The Angels the last few years have had some first basemen do major damage. Morales did until the injury. And then Trumbo played that position the majority of last year. He nearly won Rookie of the Year. And then they went out and gave Albert a 10-year contract. So they've gotten major production out of that position for Mike Scioscia.
Lifted back out of play. 2-2. The count stays on Morales. Well, most probably didn't know what they would get out of Morales this year. Certainly he has not nearly been on the pace that he established back in 2009, but he has provided a little bit of power. He's hit 8 home runs. And they average very steady 279. Popped up another one foul. Prince will give a look. And it's back into the dugout. Two and two. The count stays on Kendrys Morales. Callaspo waiting on deck. Angels put up a 4 spot in the first, 3 more in the second. Looks like a lot of Detroiters came out tonight despite the 100-degree weather. Enjoying Tigers baseball this evening on a beautiful night despite the score. Good block there by Avila. Run the count 3-2 now, which means the runners will be on the move. Trout reaching on a single. Pujols on a walk. And he lost him. Ball 4. That's going to load the bases.
The Tigers welcome the Chicago White Sox to Comerica Park this Friday at 7:05. All fans will enjoy a post-game fireworks show. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Big series coming up with the White Sox. After the Angels leave town, it's a 4-game series here, and then Jim Leyland's club will take on the Chicago White Sox over the weekend.
Dwayne Belo came into this game with a grand total of 4 base-on balls issued. 2 already today.
In the air to left, should end the inning. Barry goes back, and nothing comes of the walks. So they leave him loaded. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 7-0 Angels.
Scored runs, he's stolen bases, he's gotten some big hits. On base percentage not bad, and it's no coincidence their record has gotten better since Quentin has been here.
So it'll be Barry, Cabrera, and then Prince Fielder here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 7 runs, 8 hits for the Angels. No runs, no hits for Detroit to this point. Garrett Richards going back to the hill, although he's not had an easy time of it. He did have a 1-2-3 third. Walked a couple of batters in the second, but got a big double play ball. And Barry looks at a ball outside.
Callaspo down at third base, giving Barry a little bit of room. if Barry wants to bunt for a hit. Where Kayaspo is playing, if Barry did decide to bunt down in that direction and makes a good bunt, there's no way Kayaspo throws him out.
Here's the 2-0. Slap back out of play.
Kind of hard to bunt guys that are throwing 96, 97 miles an hour. And most guys that like to utilize the bunt as part of their game, sometimes because the velocity is so high, you tend to bunt it too hard.
Fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Barry was commenting after last night's game that he was surprised he was given so much room to lay a bunt down, which really sparked a big rally for the Tigers. That bunt single, which got things going late in the game. Tigers came back from a 5-2 deficit in that contest. Barry a big part of it.
He did that with 2 outs, didn't he?
He did, yeah. The 2-2. Bouncing ball right side. Kendrick on the backhand. Quick release is in time for the out. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th.
Take a look at Kendrick after he gets this ball in his glove. He makes sure that he sets his feet because he knows he has to make a firm throw to first base to get Barry. There are some second basemen that would have tried an acrobatic play, jumping and turning and getting the out, but you can't do that with Quentin running down the line. It's got to be a strong throw.
Ball 1 to Cabrera. Tigers still searching for that first hit tonight as we play here in the 4th. And Miguel is 0 for 1 with a fly ball. He continues to gain on 300 career home runs. He is 3 short coming into play tonight. Hit a couple in that series against the Orioles to get a little bit closer. That'll get back out of play down the right field line. Hit it hard, but foul. Well, as you check out the active players under the age of 30, Cabrera has the most home runs, 297. And the Prince right behind him. Again, the 1-2. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Ibar has some range, but can't get to this one. Into center field. It's the first Tigers hit of the night.
Ibar at shortstop won a Gold Glove last year and has outstanding range at that position, but not able to get over to make this play.
So here's Prince, who walked to lead off the second. They've got the shift on for Prince now with 3 defenders to the right of second base. And it's ball 1. Richards last year was called up from Double-A to pitch in the big leagues. He had a 12-2 record at Arkansas. Their Double-A team was called to the major leagues late last season. And Prince looks at a strike. 1-1. Two one on Fielder. 44 thrown by Richards. And a ground ball to first base. That's play by Pujols. Fires to second. They get one there, and the relay will be late.
Gutsy play here by Pujols, but he gives Ibar a real nice feed after diving, and they're able to get a put out there at second base. Pujols has won a couple Gold Gloves with the St. Louis Cardinals. It's one of the things that Jim used to talk about all the time when Cabrera was playing first base, at how good Pujols had gotten at that position because of his work ethic, and he always praised Cabrera for turning himself into a really good first baseman as well before agreeing to move over to third base this year.
And he knew it was going to take a lot of work, and Cabrera was able to put that work in and willing to put that work in. But there were similarities between the two, and now, of course, Cabrera's on the other side of the diamond. Delman Young batting with 2 outs. Big swing there, and the count goes 1-1. Two of the premier run producers in the game, and two of the premier hitters in the game, Cabrera and Pujols. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Delman down on the count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
97 with the previous fastball from Richards, and he comes back with a really good breaking ball at 87. And that ball had a lot of bite on it. You can see why the Angels are so high on Richards. 98-mile-per-hour fastball, decent breaking ball on occasion. But he's got a live arm.
96 again. The count goes to 2-2. May just come down to an experience factor with Richards at this point. The more innings he gets, perhaps the more consistent he will get.
He's got the kind of skill set that works up here.
And there have been times this year especially that he's taken the mound. He's been dominant, and other times he's gotten hit pretty good. That's low and away. 3-2. And with 2 outs, that means the base runner will be on the move as Bosch waits on deck. And a broken bat roller towards short. Ibar with the running scoop in time for the out. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Here comes the 5th. Members rejoice. The RBQ sandwich is back at Arby's. Get yours today. And by AT the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Back here in the Motor City, it is 7-0 Angels. The Angels did all of their damage early. They scored 4 in the first and 3 in the second, and it's been that way since. The Tigers have managed only 1 hit against Garrett Richards tonight. And as we go to the 5th inning, on a very warm evening here in downtown Detroit, it'll be Howie Kendrick to start things off. 7, 8, 9 coming up for Mike Scioscia and the Angels. It's Kendrick, Ibar, and Wilson facing Dwayne Below. Kendrick tonight is 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. Below came on in the 3rd. Pitched a scoreless 4th as well, despite a couple of walks. That's fouled back out of play on 1-1.
Most of the damage in this game has been done by the Angels hitters 1 through 4. And they have 7 of their 8 hits. And 3 of the home runs they've hit. All 3, as a matter of fact. Trout, Trumbo, and Pujols.
Ball low, 1-1. Well, it's the second time this year that Trout, Trumbo, and Pujols have each homered in the same game. They also did it recently at Baltimore. They've been flexing their muscles tonight. There's a shot to center field and a base hit. So the Angels, for 5 straight innings, have put the leadoff man on. He'll bring up Eric Ibar. Ibar in this game with a couple of ground balls, one resulting in a double play back in the 3rd. Below would like another one here. And a ball high. 1 ball to no strikes. You may notice that tonight's home plate umpire Andy Fletcher is operating with a cast on his right hand. He actually broke his wrist in a game in June when he took a foul tip off his wrist and it broke. And so Fletcher has his right arm, which is the indicating arm, obviously, all casted up. There's a ground ball to short. Looks like another double play. There's 1. There's 2.
I was wondering what that was on Fletcher's arm last night when he was down at first base. So apparently it has no issues as far as him calling balls and strikes. Not often Ibar will hit into 2 double plays in the same game.
That one tailor-made right at the shortstop Peralta. In fact, Below has gotten to Ibar to bounce into the 2nd. He got him to bounce into 1 back in the 3rd, and now 1 here in the 5th. Here's Bobby Wilson. There's a strike. Wilson walked, scored a run, also bounced out. And he drives one down the left field line. That's going to be extra bases. All the way to the 345 marker in left, and Wilson will cruise into 2nd with a 2-out double. And the Angels had their 9th hit tonight. Here is Mike Trout. They have not been able to get him out this evening. Single homer single. 2 RBIs.
A whole lot of big league teams have had a difficult time of getting Mike Trout out this year.
Stand in line.
Oh my goodness. What a good looking player. 20 years old.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, we talk a lot about Mike Trout, and everybody does, and we understand that, you know, he has had great numbers, but the fact that he's done it at the age of 20 really makes it that much more incredible. I mean, this guy was in the big leagues at 19 last year and showed flashes at that time that he was going to be awfully good. Start of the year in the minor leagues,
His biggest test will be once they start to go around the league the second time and teams try to make an adjustment against him. Will he be quick to make that adjustment as well? But every indication and everything you've watched tells you he will be able to do so. But there will become an adjustment period for Mr. Trout.
Down he goes. He chased a pitch out of the strike zone there, and that is that. And we'll go to the bottom of the fifth when we come back. Shannon Hogan will have a tour of the new concessions here at Comerica Park.
Here, which is right behind section 104, and they have one of my favorite things in the ballpark now. It is the gourmet adult grilled cheese. Yes, that's right, 4 different kinds of cheese. So you don't have to be a kid to order a grilled cheese anymore. And something I found very interesting on the concourse, over in section 116, get this, Rod, a bacon wrapped hot dog. I love hot dogs. I'm not sure if I need bacon on it, but if you like bacon, they have it here at Comerica Park.
Rod, that's got your name all over it.
No, I don't do the bacon.
No?
I just take a few onions, a little mustard, a little ketchup. I'm good to go. I don't need all the onions and tomatoes and all the rest of that fancy stuff on.
Well, I'm willing to try the bacon. That sounds pretty good. And the grilled cheese. That sounds really good. Bosch leading it off here in the bottom of the fifth. It is 7-0 in favor of the Angels in this one. It'll be Bosch, Peralta, and Vila facing the right-hander, Garrett Richards. Bosch had a walk back in the second. And a ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Brennan. Tigers really have not been able to do a whole lot so far against Richards. A couple of walks in the second, but a double play ended that frame, and then a single by Cabrera in the fourth. The only hit so far for Detroit. The 2-1. 3-1 on Bosch.
Told you earlier that Richards is not necessarily mixing all of his pitches in with a 7-run lead, but he really hasn't had to. He has thrown 78% fastballs here today. Majority of those above 95 miles an hour.
42 of the 55 pitches above 95. Add another one to that total, but it's a walk.
But I guess until a team shows you they can hit it, continue to feature it.
43 of his pitches tonight, 95 and above. Leadoff man on now. Here is Peralta. Johnny knocked into a double play. That ended the second inning. In there for a strike. Here's the 0-1 to Johnny. Fouled it off on the check swing. No balls, 2 strikes on Peralta, who in his career has had really good numbers against the Angels. 322 lifetime against Los Angeles / Anaheim pitching. And the 0-2. Good bender that missed. Peralta was backing out of the way. It's inside, 1-2.
First time I can remember him throwing that real slow curveball. And most of his pitches have been 95 and above with the fastball, and then he's got a slider about 87, but that last pitch, 76.
Check swing roller toward third. Callaspo has it, but only one play, and that's to first for the out there. So Bosch will advance.
He's got a live arm. He's gone all the way up to 98. And in that breaking ball 2 pitches ago, the slowest pitch he's thrown here today.
Here is Alex Avila. 0 for 1 with a ground out. Ball 1 outside to Avila. 10 hits tonight for the Angels and only 1 for the Tigers. The single by Cabrera remains their only hit. They have been quieted tonight by the 24-year-old right-hander out of Riverside, California, Garrett Richards. Missed it outside. 2-0. Richards now has thrown 62 pitches as we play here in the 5th. And the 2-0. Fouled straight back. 2 balls, 1 strike. Looks like there's more action in the Tigers bullpen. Dwayne Belo has been in this game since the 3rd inning tonight, after Jacob Turner blasted 2. Here's the pitch total on Garrett Richards.
Ratio not very good. He has almost thrown as many balls as strikes. But the only number that matters is that 0 in the runs column for Detroit so far.
3-1. That's actually Ben Weil out there in the bullpen. He's not really warming up to come into the ball game, just doing his usual mid-game loosening. As we mentioned, the Tiger bullpen at full strength tonight, with the exception of the closer, Jose Valverde, who's gone 4 straight days. And he lost him, ball 4. So a couple of walks in this inning. See if the Tigers now can start pecking away at this deficit. Here is the AT&T trivia question tonight. We asked you a little while ago, who are the only 2 players to have 10 straight 100 RBI seasons to start a career?
Got to be he and Teixeira, right?
Ooh, Al Simmons. Would you have guessed Al Simmons?
No,
me either. Teixeira, great guess. Pujols and Al Simmons.
In a couple more years, you'll be able to add one more name to that list, and that will probably be Miguel Cabrera. He has 8 consecutive seasons where he has 100 RBI.
Here is Santiago. Yeah, that would seem, barring injury, to be a slam dunk. Been a tough night tonight so far, though, for the Detroit offense. They have a little bit of light here, though, in the 5th inning with 2 men on. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ramon. Bosch led the inning off with a walk. He's at second. Avila is at first. That'll get fouled down the left field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Santiago is the perfect guy to possibly get a hit off Richards. He doesn't take a big swing. And usually guys that throw hard, when you have your table setters up there, they're just trying to make contact. They don't have problems putting the ball in play.
Ooh, we tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Santiago is out of there. And Richards has picked up another strikeout. That is just his 2nd of the game and 1st since the 1st inning.
He has thrown some really good breaking balls today. His fastball's kind of been all over the map, although it's got some pretty good giddy up on it. But he's thrown some nice breaking balls. Nice job by Wilson getting down to block it as well, the catcher.
So here is Austin Jackson with 2 outs. 0 for 2 tonight for Jackson. And it's in there for a strike. 0-1. And again, 96 miles an hour. So Richards continues to throw hard in this game.
Richards kind of throws across his body. I mean, it's not to the extreme of their ace, Jared Weaver. But he does throw across his body quite a bit.
Skied in the air to center. Trout cruising over. He is under it now, and that is that. Tigers get a couple of walks. Strand 2, 5 in the books here at Comerica. Next, Meyer to 37338 to be eligible to win a fantastic prize pack any baseball fan would love. Meyer, higher standards, lower prices. Back here in the D, being proudly displayed on the Reds end tonight. It's 7-0 in favor of the Angels as we go to the top of the 6th inning in Game 2 in this series. Tigers won the opener last night. Coming back, and here tonight they were hit early in this game as the Angels got 4 in the first, 3 in the second. Neither team has scored since. It'll be Torrey Hunter to lead things off, then Albert Pujols and Mark Trumbo, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Angels. Hunter in the ballgame tonight is a walk, otherwise 0 for 2. Runs scored as well, and he looks at ball 1. 10 Angels hits tonight, 3 of them long balls. Dwayne Belo has been on since the 3rd as Jacob Turner went 2 innings this evening. Here's the 1-0. Line to center field, base hit. So the Angels continue to pour it on, and that's 6 straight innings in which the leadoff man's gotten on. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. It is brought to you by Miller Lite. Hunter gets his first hit. It's going to bring up Pujols. That's in there for a strike.
How much did it shock you in the offseason when the Angels emerged with Albert Pujols at the winter meetings?
Absolutely floored, to be honest with you. I thought for the longest time, and really forever, he was just going to go back to St. Louis. That's in the air to right center field, sinking, and a base hit. Hunter running hard. He'll go to third base, and he is in there standing up. First and third. We'll continue that in a moment. First, let's go back to the studio now for a game break. Here's Justin White. Wow, Youkilis is just going off, isn't he?
Went back to his former crib and getting off tonight.
He is indeed. As Mark Trumbo stands in here. But to get back to what you were talking about, yeah, I was really shocked. I thought for sure he would end up back in St. Louis. And even now, looking at him in an Angels uniform, it just doesn't seem right because he had spent his whole career with one organization. But I assume you were surprised?
They didn't get into it until the 24th hour. I mean, Miami was in it. The Dodgers were talking a little bit to Pujols. Of course, St. Louis already had a lengthy deal on the table, but apparently it wasn't enough for Pujols. But their owner, Artie Moreno, got involved, and he made a phone call to Pujols and his agent, and he told him, you know what, I don't just want you to be a player for our organization. It's like I want you to be a business partner with me. You know, so it's like once your deal is done here, I still want you to be part of this organization. And I think that's one of the reasons why Pujols elected to go there.
Well, his numbers, as you see in the comparison with Prince Fielder, who was the other big signing in the offseason, of course, by the Tigers, that his numbers have really come on now, Pujols, that is. That's way high.
I guess you could say that the baseball world was also shocked by the signing of Prince Fielder here in the Motor City.
Which was more shocking?
Probably
close.
This one.
Prince?
Yeah, I would say this one. They're right up there.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd probably go with Prince. I think that came out of nowhere. And there they are at first base. Here's the 2-1. The Angels years ago in the 90s made a big splash by surprising everybody, signing Mo Vaughn to what was a big contract at that time. But this Pujols contract certainly surpassed that one, and I think surprised more folks. Mike Scioscia's glad to have him. For 9 years after this season.
Scioscia will be right there with him, too.
You got to believe it.
He's got that kind of length on his deal.
Velo missing inside. 3-2 now on Mark Trumbo. Trumbo hit a 3-run shot in the first. He doubled in the second. And he is 2 out of 3 tonight. Mike Scioscia, his contract goes through 2018. That is popped up. Right side of the infield. Santiago drifting. 1 out.
You have a couple of owners of these respective clubs that really want to win a championship bad. And that would be Mike Ilitch, and we've already talked about Artie Moreno, the Angels owner. Both hire good people, and then they let them work.
Well, the Victor Martinez injury opened the door perhaps to get Prince Fielder, and they went out and they got it done. And at least you can look ahead a little bit towards September, and more than likely all of next year when you have Martinez and Fielder in your lineup. There's the ball outside.
It was also Mike Ilitch that made a phone call to Prince Fielder telling him how badly we want you to be a Tiger.
And for Prince, probably not a bad or tough decision with the roots that he's had here in this city. Morales hits a ground ball foul. Good play by Dino Ebel, who hands out a souvenir. Morales 0 for 2. He's walked in this game. A native of Cuba who defected to the United States back in 2004 to play Major League Baseball. That'll get back out of play, 1-2.
Orlando Mercado, who was a bullpen catcher for the Angels for a long time. And when Morales came to the major leagues, it was Mercado that took him under his wing. Spent a lot of time with him, teaching him how to be a big league player, how to conduct yourself as a big league player. And Morales, he really thanks Mercado for that.
Here's the 1-2. Sliced to right center field. That looks like trouble, and it is. It's down, a base hit. Hunter will score. Pujols will go to third. It's an RBI hit for Kendrys Morales, and the Angels have added another. It's now 8-0.
They can beat you in a lot of ways. They can beat you with their speed. They can beat you with their base running going first to third. But however, today, they've beaten the Tigers so far with the long ball. And Morales chips in with a single there to drive in a run.
And the Angels now have 13 hits on the scoreboard tonight. They lead 8-0. Callaspo takes ball 1. One of the few Angels without a hit tonight. He's 0 for 3. It's like there is some action going on now in the Detroit bullpen. There's Brian Villarreal. He'll begin to warm up. The good news on Villarreal was that the neck issue that he was having was nothing serious. He was actually able to pitch last night if they needed him. And how exciting has he been in the first half?
Lights out.
They'll start to warm it up as Bilo now is in his 4th inning of work. He's fallen behind Callaspo 2-0. Swing and a miss.
Saw a shot at the bullpen catcher out there, bullpen coach, I should say, Mike Rojas. His brother broadcast games here tonight for the Los Angeles Angels, Victor. So I'm sure they have been able to get together and go out and have a meal.
Oh, they've been sparring already.
Have they been?
No, they've been going at each other.
Their father, Cookie Rojas, great baseball man.
That's fouled straight back. There's Victor.
Do they have the? They got the window down like me today.
Yes, they do. They've got it down. They don't want the heat coming in. And there's Mike. Brothers reunited here in this series. Good people, really good people. Here's the 2-2. Driven in the air toward left field. That ball is hit high. It is hit deep. And it is gone. It's another home run for the Angels. Callaspo hits his 7th of the year. A 3-run shot. 11-0.
Angels hitters making Comerica Park look awfully small here tonight. A little breaking ball there off the outside corner that Callaspo was able to go out and get. And hit awfully hard out of the yard.
So that's going to be it for Dwayne Bilo. We'll have a pitching change here at the ballpark. We'll be back.
mistake the Angels have gotten here tonight, the ball has left the building. Trumbo, 3-run home run. Trout, a solo shot. Pujols, also a solo shot. And then Callaspo played long ball as well in this inning.
Meanwhile, Villarreal is in, and Howie Kendrick has himself a base hit as the Angels continue to swing it. That's going to bring up Ibar.
15 hits. Santiago got up about as high as he could get up. Ball right off the glove and trickles into shallow right field.
15 hits and the leadoff man on in every inning so far. As you look at the numbers on Villarreal, they've been awfully impressive. Ball 1 to Eric Ibar.
And Villarreal will tell you the difference in his numbers this year versus last year is the fact that he's very comfortable throwing his breaking ball. It's a slider to go along with the upper 90s fastball. Also locating it a whole lot better these days.
Ibar hits it in the air to center. Jackson is there. On a night where the Angels had 15 hits, Ibar is the only Angel without one.
And we told you they have 4 home runs today. Here's the 4th one. It was Callaspo. And that's the one that knocked Dwayne Bilo out of the ball game.
It's the most home runs the Tigers have allowed in a game this season. There's a check swing foul back to the screen by Bobby Wilson.
I was talking to Jeff Jones a couple of days ago in the Tigers clubhouse, and he was talking about this Angels team and how aggressive they are. And if you don't make pitches against them, they can do to you just as they have done to the Tigers pitching so far.
Wilson pops one up. See if it stays in play. Avila makes the catch. So the inning is over, but another big 4-run frame for the Halos. Back here at Comerica Park, it's 11-0 in favor of the Angels. They've hit a lot of home runs tonight. We'll just leave it at that. 4 to be exact. And they have 15 hits, only 1 hit tonight for the Tigers. It'll be Quentin Berry leading it off, and Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder. Meanwhile, Garrett Richards has done the rest for the Angels this evening. Barry swings and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike on Barry, who has a couple of ground balls to the second baseman Kendrick. And he swings and misses. 1 and 2. Well, we've seen Texas this year, Rod. Now we've seen the Angels for about a game and a half. I know it's not a very big sampling, but what do you think? Who's the better team out there in the West?
I think Texas has better pitching right now. The Angels, if they really want to stay in it, I think they're probably going to have to go out and add somebody to the rotation and in that bullpen.
Ibar ranging far to his left to throw him out.
It's a nice play. He's got quick feet. He's got good range. And he's got a strong throwing arm. And when you add it all up, you get 2011 Gold Glove winner at that position. And you always have to hurry when Quentin's running. Angels are a good team. They've got a really good offense. They've got some speed. They've got some power. They've got some guys that can put the ball in play with 2 strikes. And guys that don't strike out very often. And Texas has that too from an offensive standpoint. But I think Texas has probably got a better bullpen and probably a deeper starting rotation right now as we speak. But that's not to say the Angels can't get better in that regard.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Obviously the injury to Dan Herron, he'll be back soon, which is good news for them. That's certainly been big, and he's a big part of their rotation. But in some ways, they're teams that are built differently. The Angels certainly, they seem like an offense that wouldn't go into prolonged slumps. I mean, teams built around power have a tendency to go into longer slumps. The 1-1, Angels able to manufacture a lot of their offense, even though they have power hitters like Trumbo, Pujols, Trout. Torrey, of course, covers a lot of ground out there in right field. Tremendous amount of speed, so not a whole lot will drop in between center and right field.
They most definitely are 2 of the best teams in baseball.
5.5 games right now separating Texas and the Angels. Angels at one point were 6-14 out of the gate this year. Here's the 2-2. Cabrera shoots one to right field on a line. Torrey stretches out and makes a great play in right field.
11-run lead, and Torrey Hunter is still stretching out, making great plays. And this is a great play. 9 Gold Gloves in the outfield, most of those as a center fielder, but he has really acquitted himself nicely to that right field position.
Off the bat, I thought he had no chance at this ball. None at all. But Hunter with a great diving play. 2 gone now for Prince. Fielder reaching on a fielder's choice in the 4th, and a walk as well in this game. All of those Gold Gloves coming in center field as a member of the Twins, but right field has been no problem for him.
Torrey Hunter had 15 outfield assists last year from right field, his first full season out there. And he already has 7 assists from that position this year. I guess they're going to say Fielder was hit now.
I was wondering about that because it looked like he was hit, but he wasn't going anywhere.
He didn't want to go to first base.
Don Kelly's going to come out and replace him as a pinch runner.
We don't see this very often, Prince leaving games, but Jim Lee is going to give him the next 3 innings off. It's going to be tough for the Tigers to come back in this one. And anytime you can give Prince a blow, you may as well give him a blow. He plays every day. Ball looked like it bounced up and hit him in the left shin.
Oh, yeah, it did. Here's Delman Young. Swing and a miss. 0 for 2 tonight for Delman.
I was wondering at the beginning of this game, because Richards came out throwing so hard, would he be able to maintain that velocity with his fastball? I guess he's answered that question.
Last one was at 95. Breaking ball that time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
As he gets older and he starts to mature, he will become much more of a pitcher. He'll probably start out at 92, 93, and then reach back to get 97, 98 when you really need to. We've seen a lot of big league pitchers that threw hard when they were young, learned how to pitch. Verlander comes to mind, Weaver on their side, Felix Hernandez, CC Sabathia. Now, those 4 guys come to mind.
Ground ball, third base side, wicket hop. Callaspo unable to stay with it. Looked like he might be able to make a play on it. Delman is aboard.
Callaspo did some nifty work with his glove here. This ball took a nasty hop on him. He had some top spin on it, and it looked like he had it in his glove, but then it fell out. And then obviously once it falls out, there's no play whatsoever. He did have it, as a matter of fact, and on the exchange, he wasn't able to grab the ball cleanly with the right hand.
They've ruled it a base hit. And we'll bring up Bosch. We'll get back into the seats right behind the Tiger dugout. 0-1 on Bosch. Been on base twice tonight, 2 walks. They just have not been able to do anything with their base on balls. They've had 4 of them tonight, plus a hit batter. And now 2 hits against Richards. The 0-1. Tigers will not see Jared Weaver in this series. They will, however, see C.J. Wilson. He'll be going tomorrow night against Doug Fister. Ground ball to third. Callaspo backhands this one in time for the out. And that's all for the Tigers. No runs, couple of base runners. We go to the 7th. Defensive changes. Don Kelly stays in the game. He will play first base for the Tigers. They've also made a few other changes defensively. Cabrera's out of the game now. Danny Worth will take over at third base. Quentin Berry will move over to center field, and the new left fielder taking his spot is Ryan Rayburn. So Jackson is out of the game now.
That means Cabrera and Jackson and also Fielder. You're going to watch the rest of this one either on the bench or in the clubhouse. And very seldom does Jim get opportunities to give them a little bit of a rest, but down by 11 in the 7th. Perfect time for that.
11 runs on 15 hits for Los Angeles. Tigers, no runs, 2 hits. Brian Villarreal back out to the hill, facing the top of the lineup, Mike Trout. And he looks at strike 1. 3 out of 4 tonight for Trout. 2-run shot back in the 2nd. A couple of singles as well. Villarreal came on to replace Bilo in the 6th inning. Dwayne came on in the 3rd. Fires that one low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Trout, of course, made his first All-Star team this year, and he said the one player that he wanted to meet the most was Derek Jeter, which he had a chance to do and talk at length with Derek Jeter in Kansas City.
Swing and a miss.
As a matter of fact, I read something where Derek Jeter offered Trout his suite.
Really?
At Yankee Stadium, because Trout's from New Jersey, had a lot of family coming to Yankee Stadium to watch him play, and Derek said, here you go.
Very nice. You know, that's an interesting dynamic in the All-Star game, because you get guys, especially the young guys, that make their first All-Star team. That's fouled off, and Avila took the brunt of that one. Boy, Alex feeling it right now. The side of the face, maybe?
He's a tough kid. That much I do know. He takes a beating back there.
Kevin Rand's going to have to come out and look at it. Right off the side of the mask. Earlier this year, Avila was taken out of game after taking a foul ball square off the mask. Let's see if he continues in this one. G-Money ready to go if needed, but it looks like Alex will stay in the game. Meanwhile, Andy Fletcher is saying, I know what you're going through right now. Look at my arm. He had his wrist broken on a foul ball. One ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Trout goes down swinging for the 2nd time.
One of the things that we were interested in seeing was how Mike Trout has been getting it done this year, and he's gotten it done in a variety of different ways in this series already. And first couple times up, base hit. Next time, big fly. Then another base hit against Dwayne Bilo. Really don't know how to pitch this young man yet.
But you think, like with every hitter in the history of this game, there will be adjustments made to him.
Oh, no doubt.
It's up to him now.
No doubt. Baseball, as good as he's going right now, is a very humbling game.
1 ball, no strikes.
He should enjoy everything that he is enjoying right now, though.
Torrey Hunter, the batter, and he waves and misses. 1-1. Villarreal bringing his high octane into the game. 99 on that last pitch. Villarreal had not pitched in a game since July the 7th in that series leading up to the All-Star break. That was against Kansas City.
Did they say how he hurt his neck?
I don't know. I think it was shagging fly balls. But he had it looked at, and it was no problem. Here's the 2-1. You know, your neck is kind of a weird thing. I mean, you can hurt your neck just waking up in the morning.
Sneezing.
Yeah, sleeping on it the wrong way. A healthy sneeze.
Well, luckily they didn't need him in Baltimore because Verlander had a great day there, and Dut Fister also pitched very well in Baltimore. Probably could have used him in that 13-inning game, but Jim was able to get through that one too.
Darren Downs warming up right now. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Hunter is dispatched. 2 strikeouts for Brian.
This much we do know. Villarreal stuff is absolutely filthy. The upper 90s fastball, and then that slider. Look at it. I mean, Hunter had no chance to hit that thing, but not many hitters would have had a chance to hit this slider. Looked like a fastball all the way until about the last 5 feet. You start your swing, and the ball just kind of disappears on the outside corner.
Now Pujols stands in. Strike 1 to Albert.
Albert don't like to get pinched inside, but a lot of hitters don't like to get pitched inside. Prince Fielder told me he doesn't like to get pitched inside either. But somehow they still do a lot of damage, regardless.
Here's the 0-1. It's been a big night for Albert. Singled in a run, hit a homer, walked, and then singled. He has scored 3 times in this game.
Albert Pujols and Placido Polanco, and former Detroit Tiger, are best friends.
The 0-2. He'll get back out of play. The amazing thing to me about Pujols is, and this is what makes scouting so difficult, is this guy was a 13th round selection. It's not like he was very highly thought of coming out of college. I mean, there was some thought that, yes, he could play, but there were some things that scouts really weren't totally sold on. And so there were 401 players selected before Pujols was selected.
It's a lot of players.
The 0-2 is rolled toward third. Foul ball. Danny Wirth occupying third now with Cabrera out of the game.
And all Albert has gone on to do is to win Rookie of the Year. He's won MVPs, Gold Gloves, a couple of championships.
Fly ball, right field. And Bosch will haul it in to end the inning. 1-2-3 frame for Villarreal. for this one here tonight. Trout, Pujols, and Trumbo have combined for 16 of the team's 22 home runs in July. And it's the second time this month each has hit a homer in the same game. So they have made their presence felt in this one here this evening. And they jumped on the Tigers early. They got 4 runs in the very first inning and then 3 more in the second. And the Angels have not trailed since. And with all the offense, they've had good pitching as well from one of their better prospects, Garrett Richards. So Richards will go back to work now, and Peralta will lead things off in the bottom of the 7th. And a wave and a miss, 0-1. He is still bringing it, 94 miles an hour. Good breaking ball. The count goes to 0-2.
That is the one thing that I've noticed that he's done about the last 3 innings. He has incorporated a lot more breaking balls. He threw quite a few fastballs through the first 5 innings. But he has gotten comfortable with his slider and his curveball.
And the 0-2. Missed it high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Johnny in the ball game, 0 for 2, couple of ground balls, just 2 Detroit hits in this game. That bounces in and smothered by Wilson. Two balls, 2 strikes. Peralta to be followed by Avila and then Santiago. Here's the 2-2 inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it's on the ground and through, a base hit into left field. And the Tigers get their 3rd hit of the night. Got some changes for the Angels. Mark Trumbo now will move to first base. Pujols is out of the game. Trout moves from center to left. You've got Peter Borges in center field, and you've got a new right fielder, Cole Calhoun. A bunch of changes now for both teams in the lopsided game here. 11-0 Angels. Here's Avila. Base on balls back in the 5th inning, his last time up. Wave and a miss. Richards now approaching 100 pitches in this game. 97 of them. Here's the 0-1. Driven high in the air to right field. Calhoun is on the move. He'll go to the warning track to make the catch. 1 gone. Alex gave it a ride, but not deep enough. Action in the bullpen for the Angels. Takahashi came on, pitched to 1 batter in last night's game. He's tuning up right now. Bullpen has been an issue for the Angels recently. They were so good for a couple of months. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Kendrick waits on the hop, tags the bag 1, relay, not in time. Santiago beat it out.
It's a wise decision by Kendrick to take that ball himself. Had he tried to shuffle it to Ibar, there's no way they would have gotten Santiago. This was their best chance. But Santiago clearly beat that throw from Howie Kendrick.
They'll bring up Ryan Rayburn. His first at bat of the night. And he looks at strike one. Jackson, Cabrera, Fielder all started this game, are all off the rest of the night. On the ground is second, right at Kendrick. And that'll do it for the Tigers here in the seventh. No runs, one hit, one left. Tigers baseball tonight is presented by Bell Tire.
Have had little success keeping Trumbo in the building. Hit a home run in last night's game, and then he got the party started once again here tonight against Jacob Turner, who started for the Tigers. That was a 3-run shot.
So 6 homers in his last 8 games. And Trumbo, the first Angel to lead the American League in slugging percentage after the break since Doug DeCinces back in 1983. And here we are shortly after the All-Star break, and Trumbo still getting it done. And he'll be leading things off here in the 8th inning against a new Tigers pitcher. That would be left-hander Darren Downs.
And Darren Downs a little wild in that ball game on Saturday. In Baltimore, had quite a few walks in that game. Does not have an ERA yet. And the opponents are hitting just 60.63 against him since coming up from the minors.
$11 runs, 15 hits tonight for the visitors. Tigers no runs, 3 hits. It'll be Trumbo and then Kendrys Morales to follow. Then Callaspo. Darren Downs replaces Brian Villarreal, who retired 5 of the 6 batters that he faced. First pitch missing outside to Mark Trumbo. Trumbo finished 3rd in the home run derby this year behind Prince Fielder and Jose Bautista. Trumbo hit 13 home runs in that home run hitting contest. And you got to believe he's probably going to be a participant quite a few more times before his career is over. That's in for a strike. 2-2. Downs a great story in his own right, finally making it to the major league level after a lot of years in the minor leagues. Started this year in Toledo. That's chopped foul. This season was his 10th minor league year without getting a chance to pitch in the big leagues, and the Tigers finally gave him that opportunity. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Trumbo is out of there, one gone.
Appeared to tie Trumbo up with a fastball inside.
Here's Kendrys Morales. Singled in a run in his last at bat. Every Angel starter tonight with at least one hit except for Ivar. Downs missing low and in, 1-0. Big night for the youngster Garrett Richards, who shut the Tigers out through 7 on just 3 hits. Two balls, no strikes. He pitched around 4 walks in this game, struck out only 2, but was throwing mid to upper 90s the entire game.
Yeah, Tigers didn't have many comfortable swings against Richards tonight.
Three 3-0 on Kendrys Morales. It was 100 degrees at game time tonight. Here we are in the 8th inning, and it's still 95 out. Although they tell us it is supposed to cool a little bit here the next couple of days. A very, very warm evening. One of the hottest evenings we've had at the ballpark this year. Here's the 3-1. High fly ball, right field, hit well. Bosch going back, looking up, and it's another home run for the Angels. Kendrys Morales has just hit his 9th, and it's 12-0.
It's the second opposite field home run of the night by an Angels batter. Mike Trout, very talented center fielder, also hit a ball to right center field the opposite way.
Fifth home run of the night for the Angels. They lead by 12 now. And Callaspo takes one that bounces in. First time the Tigers have allowed 5 long balls since 2008, when they did it 3 times. Swing and a miss. That was against Texas in a game in August of 08 when they gave up 6. And that was at Texas, so that should not be surprising. But to give up 5 in this ballpark, a little bit more surprising. Here's the 1-2. Hit to the shortstop on a line, and Peralta holds it in.
Hey fans, get the Tigers Flex Mini Plan for as low as $14 per game. Choose your favorite matchups and enjoy early entrance to view batting practice for select games. Call 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com for the new Flex 8. mini plane. Angels flexing their muscles tonight.
It's all right. I've got a theory on this. They're using up all of their offense in this game tonight.
I'll buy that.
They will have nothing left for the next 2 days. They started early, scoring 4 in the first, 3 in the second, had another 4-run sixth. A swing and a miss by Howie Kendrick. He's had 3 hits tonight, all singles. Mr. Pfister will be on the hill tomorrow to take on these Angels.
He looked really good. First start after the All-Star break last Friday in Baltimore.
Here comes Bosch on the run in right field. That'll end the inning. They get another run on the Morales homer as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And by Toyota, brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealer. By the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Big Mac, using your cell phone. Text Tigers followed by a space, the player's uniform number, to 37338. Or if you'd like, you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com.
May not be no Big Macs given out tonight. For real?
Why'd you have to go there?
Anybody hold on for the next night?
I can't argue with you. It's 12-0. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, Quentin Berry will lead things off. We have a new pitcher now. David Carpenter will be checking in as the wind is picking up here at the ballpark. We have a new shortstop as well for the Halos. That would be Meister Izturis. So that wind is blowing around that 95-degree air, not making it much more comfortable. Berry looks at a ball outside.
You really can't tell which direction the wind has been blowing here tonight, because they've homered 3 times the left field. I'm talking about the Angels, and 2 times the opposite way.
Two balls, no strikes on Berry. 3 ground ball outs for Quentin tonight. Only 3 Detroit hits. Cabrera had a single. Peralta's single. There's a ball missing outside. Run the count now on Quentin to 3 balls, no strikes.
You don't mind Q hitting the ball on the ground, though, because you know some of those are going to trickle through the infield. And when he runs into any difficulty, and he has not had much difficulty since coming up from Toledo, That's popping balls up in the air.
And there's a walk. So Carpenter issues the leadoff base on balls.
Don't forget to join us again tomorrow when the Tigers take on the Angels. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live on Fox Sports Detroit. That's Tigers baseball tomorrow at 6:30 right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Been one of those nights for the skipper. He is hoping that Doug Fisker tomorrow can get the Tigers back to their winning ways in Game 3 in the series. Danny Worth batting for the first time.
I'm sure the Angels are quite familiar with Doug Fisker. Of course, he pitched for the Seattle Mariners first couple of years of his big league career. And they were in the same division, the American League West.
And they should have an ample scouting report on Fisker. That's in the air to center field. Borges, he's got some speed as well, and he runs it down. One out. Well, how about that pitching matchup tomorrow night? It's presented by Gordon Chevrolet and C.J. Wilson, one of the other big offseason acquisitions by the Angels, facing Fisker.
He was an all-star, C.J. Wilson. He was an all-star last year, as a matter of fact, when he was pitching for the Texas Rangers. They signed he and Albert Pujols on the exact same day.
Made a big splash. Kelly fouls it into the glove for strike one.
And CJ was able to do something a lot of pitchers don't really do that very well at, and that's put up big numbers in Texas. He had some good years pitching for the Texas Rangers.
Good point. There are some parks in the league that if you put up big numbers as a pitcher, it really stands out. There's a ground ball hit to the right side. Kendrick fires to second, and that's all they'll get. 2 out. It's going to bring up Delman Young. David Carpenter, part of that 2009 class we talked about earlier that the Angels cleaned up on. They got Carpenter, they got Trout, and they got tonight's starter, Garrett Richards. They did well in the early rounds in that 2009 draft. 1 ball, no strikes. Aside from the offense tonight, Garrett Richards the story. Here's the 1-0. Carpenter slings it outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Tigers have gone 158 consecutive games without being shut out, and they are being shut out tonight here in the 8th. That is quite a streak. Driven high in the air, deep into left field. It's going to go to the corner and be caught by Mike Trout. Inning over. On our way to the 9th. All right, Justin, thank you very much. The Tigers trailing this one tonight 12-0, and the Comerica game summary looks like this. Trumbo with a big night. In fact, he's in a big stretch, 6 homers in his last 8 games. Top of the lineup doing the trick tonight for the Angels. Garrett Richards did the rest. He threw a really good ball game tonight against the Tigers. And so as we go to the 9th inning, here come the Halos. Facing Darren Downs out there for his 2nd inning of work. Meister Turris leads it off. And then he pops up the first pitch down the first base line, back out of play. It's Turris, then Wilson, then Trout. First at bat for his Turris, who took over as a defensive replacement. Downs gave up the home run to Kendrys Morales in the 8th. And now going back to work here in the 9th. Here's the 0-1. Popped up again. This is behind home plate, back out of play. Come on, you got to catch that ball. The only thing bruised there is his ego. 0-2. Bouncing ball, third base. Danny Worth has it there. His Turris is out. One away now for Bobby Wilson. All Angels tonight in this one. They raced out to a 4-0 lead, then 7-0. They've been scoring since. They had another 4-run 6th inning. Foul tip. 0-1 on Wilson. Well, the score may be 12-0, but they continue to work on the Angels bench. One ball, one strike. Mike Butcher talking with his starter tonight. And a whole lot of positives to talk about. That's in there. 1-2 on Wilson.
Dino Ebel down at third base makes every play down there. And flips it to a fan in the stand.
One and two on Wilson. Trout waiting on deck. And the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now to Wilson. There's Trout waiting on deck. These two teams meeting 4 times in this series. Angels actually will be back in town. The Tigers still have a trip out west to the Big A. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And Wilson is out of there. 2 gone.
Don't forget, you can follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. You can get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826. Or you can simply visit Tigers.com for details.
Here's Trout now with 2 outs. 3 hits in his first 3 at bats, but he has fanned in his last 2. And he looks at strike 1 on the outer edge.
Downs has a firm fastball, 93, 94. Nice little breaking ball, changeup to go with it.
Came on in the 8th and trying to complete his 2nd inning of work here tonight. Breaking ball missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jacob Turner started tonight, lasted 2 innings. He allowed the 3 home runs, allowing the Angels to get out to the huge early lead. And then Belo had to come on for the middle innings. 2-1. Two now on Trout. Trout's average right now at 352, leading the American League. He won a Texas League batting title last year. And he shoots one to left, another hit. It's going to be a 4-hit game for Mike Trout.
Do you know if Trout played any football or basketball or anything else in high school at all?
I didn't read any of that in his background. I don't know. I would imagine he played some other sports.
I was trying to find it in the media guide and didn't see it. But usually when a guy comes to the big leagues at an early age and can do all the physical things that he can do, there's usually some football in the background, some basketball, teaching some other motor skills.
Here is Borges getting his first at bat. And it's interesting here with Borges because he was, I think, having himself a pretty good year last year and certainly was opening some eyes as maybe a center fielder of the future. And all of a sudden Trout shows up. And Borges' playing time has been cut. Well, this guy's a good player in his own right with lightning speed.
Not only did Trout show up, but they had to find a position for Trumbo too. And that pushed Trout over to center field, Trumbo to left. They might have 2 of the fastest guys in the American League in Borges and Trout.
Here's the 1-1. Trout now has his 4th 4-hit game this year, which ties Austin Jackson for the most in the American League.
And they were able to slow Trout down a little bit in last night's game. He was just 1 for 4. But not tonight.
The 2-1. It's in there, a strike. 2-2 on Peter Borges. He foul tipped it and stays alive.
Here's some of the athleticism we were talking about regarding Mr. Trout in center field and some of the plays he's made out there. This next play, one of the best you'll ever see.
That's down the first base line, heading back to the seats and out of play. Trout kind of reminds me a little bit in the way he plays the outfield of Darren Erstad. He would throw his body around, and Erstad, because of that, suffered a lot of injuries in his career and constantly was banged up. But
more recently, Grady Sizemore.
Yeah, and that's another good comparison. But the way he hit the wall on that first highlight we showed you. Just flying around there. There's that second one. Got some decent hops. Here's the 2-2, and it's grounded foul. There's your buddy. You got another one. And again the 2-2. And it's driven to the air to left. Rayburn going back. He can't get it off the top of the wall. Trout coming around. He will score, and Borges goes into second base. And it's 13-0. So Borges gets into the act.
You don't usually play Borges that deep, and Rayburn had to get back on this ball, and he jumped for it, and he might have been a couple of feet to the left from where the ball landed. Didn't get a good read where that ball was going to come down at. Therefore, Borges gets himself a double, and he drives in a run. Rayburn didn't know where that ball was.
Here's Calhoun. He'll get his first at bat. Well, the Angels have not given away any at bats tonight, that's for sure. 13 runs on 18 hits now. Calhoun cuts and misses. Oh, 0-2 on Cole Calhoun. He's in his second stint with the Angels this year. He's hitting .300 down at AAA. The 0-2. Blocked by Avila. Two-out single by Trout, and then the Borges double scored it. The Downs giving up a run in each of the 2 innings that he's worked. Swing and a miss, and Calhoun is out of there. They'll throw down to complete the strikeout, and that is it for the Angels. On our way to the bottom of the ninth.
Back in the second inning. The Angels have 5 home runs in the ball game tonight, but none bigger than the one that Mike Trout touched off right there. About 340 feet from home plate to right center field.
Well, there are the numbers. Awfully crooked on the top line. 13-0 in favor of the Angels as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Tigers will have Bosch to lead things off. Again, the Tigers trying to avoid being shut out for the first time in a long time. 158 straight games dating back to July of 2011. They've been limited to just 3 hits tonight. And Bosch in this one, a couple of walks. He looks at ball 1 outside. Bosch, then Peralta, and then Vila here in the Tigers' 9th inning. Here's the 1-0. Bouncing ball to short. Meiser's Turris gobbles it up. 1 out. That'll bring up Peralta. Again tomorrow it's going to be Fister and C.J. Wilson, and then Max Scherzer and Jerome Williams on Thursday in the afternoon game to close it out. Then those Chicago White Sox will come in.
And on Friday it will be Chris Sale and Justin Verlander. A couple of all-stars, 2 of the best pitchers in the American League.
Peralta sends it high in the air to left field. Trout and Borges, and Trout. 2 gone.
You know the drill by now. Right after this game is over, Jim Leland, he'll be talking to the media down in his office. We'll break down all the highlights, show you a lot of replays from the Coliseum studios. That is right after this game.
Chicago came in leading at Detroit by 2.5. And Chicago is winning tonight in the bottom of the 9th. 7-5 over the Red Sox. Vila sends a ground ball up the middle. This Turris can't handle it into center field. Alex aboard with 2 outs.
Ball jumped right over his Turris' glove. That last hop right there.
E6. Here's Santiago. Ball 1 to Ramon. Aboard on a fielder's choice his last time up. And the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes on Santiago. Make it 3-0. Carpenter trying to finish this one out in the last 2 innings for the starter Richards. Got a lot of lightning going on out beyond the outfield wall. Wind is picked up. 3-0 pitch is outside. He walked him on 4 straight. They have now changed the Avila ground ball to a base hit, which is probably the more correct call. It did take a bit of a wicked hop on him. So give Avila a hit, give the Tigers 4 hits on the night. And here is Rayburn. Oh for 1 tonight for Rayburn. Ball 1 outside. Foul tip. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Rayburn goes after a breaking ball. Now the Tigers down to their final strike. 1-2 on Ryan. And the 1-2 outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Quentin Berry on deck if Rayburn keeps it going. Here's the 2-2. He got him, strike 3. And the Tigers are shut out for the first time since last July.
That's a long time.
Garrett Richards was good tonight. Tigers offense could not get anything going, and the Angels pound out 18 hits in this one, and they win convincingly here in the second game of the series. July 16th, 2011, the first time the Tigers have been shut out since that time. A franchise record 158 consecutive games. That comes to an end here this evening at the hands of the Angels. 13-0 your final score here tonight. We'll have more from the ballpark coming up in just a minute.